Hi, I'm Patu from freefincal. Today let's talk about a question that I got from a worried index investor. Why is the ICICI Nifty Next 50 index fund rated only 1 star by Value Research? Now, to understand this question, we should understand what star ratings are, how they work, and then only talk about why are they ratings index funds, can index funds be star rated, and so on. So Value Research has got a star rating methodology document, and I would suggest that you go have a look at it. I have also made a video and written an article about star ratings explained in plain English. You can have a look at that as well. I'm just going to give you a gist of what all that is about here. Now, if you are a salaried guy, you would know what an appraisal is. That is basically the management trying to evaluate your performance. They will take a team and they will evaluate the performance of that team, and they will find out how many people are very well above average, how many people are above average, how many people are average performers, below average, very below average, and so on. So that's the bell curve that's kind of used. The same bell curve logic applied to mutual fund performance is called star ratings. That's all. What is this mutual fund performance is where all the problem is. So the first thing is we need a team. Like, for example, if your management wants to rate you, then they will have to rate you among employees who are doing similar work as you. They cannot, if suppose you are a coder, they cannot rate your performance with somebody who is in accounting or somebody who is in HR. That makes no logic, right? So you have to choose people who are doing similar kind of work. But that's where the problem is when it comes to mutual funds. Take the large cap category, for example. We have Nifty funds, Nifty index funds, Sensex index funds, active large cap funds, Bharat 22 ETF, Nifty 50 equal weight, Nifty 100 equal weight, Nifty 100 low volatility 30, then Bharat 22 ETF I had mentioned. Then you have Nifty Next 50. All of them are supposedly large cap funds. Now I have clearly established several times before that Nifty Next 50 is a mid cap index. Who cares what SEBI says? Nifty Next 50, factually speaking, is a mid cap index. Now you are basically combining apple, pomegranate, chilies, tomatoes, and saying all of them have to be appraised together because all of them look red. That's bullshit. Now, when our mutual fund is 5-star rated, nobody worries about how the rating is done, what is the categorization, whether there is any good logic in it, bad logic in it or not. But the same with appraisal, right? When we get a very good appraisal and a very good bonus, nobody will question the appraisal process. We question the appraisal process only when things don't go our way. Same logic is happening here. Now people are questioning about star rating. How is it that this fund can be rated 1 star? So the way Value Research does it is this. So first they choose first they have made the categorization. They have taken all these red colored fruits and vegetables and put them together only because they look red, and that logic is wrong. But well, that's it. I mean, what more can you say? In my opinion, once you recognize that the categorization is wrong, star ratings itself makes no sense. 5-star or 1 star, it makes no sense. But for the record, what Value Research does is they they define a risk-free return that is defined as a SBI FD, that is 45 days to 180 days short-term deposit. They take that rate as a risk-free rate. Now then they calculate over the last 3 years and last 5 years for equity mutual funds on a monthly basis how often the fund has underperformed the risk-free return. That is then they give you a risk rating. So that's the risk appraisal. So if a fund has underperformed very less, then that will have a very good rating. If the fund has underperformed often, it will have a very poor rating. So then you have a bin, from high to low. So they give you this kind of a risk star rating. So top 10%, next 22.5%, middle 35%, next 22.5%, bottom 10%. They do this for risk this is called a risk grade. They don't give the rating, they don't give the star rating itself, but they call it a risk grade. Then you have a return grade. The return grade is how often the fund has outperformed. So again, they find out top 10%, next 22.5%, and so on, like this. So then they calculate. So you have two bell curves, one bell curve for the return grade, one bell curve for the risk grade. Then they subtract one bell curve from the other. So they are basically calculating a fund's return grade minus a fund's risk grade. Then you have another distribution. Then they calculate top 10%, next 22.5% of that subtracted distribution. And finally, they give 5 stars for the top 10% funds, 1 star for the bottom 10% funds, and so on. That's how the star rating is done. Now, there is no benchmark here. That is, for example, Axis Blue Chip is being compared with the SBI FD return. Axis Blue Chip is not being compared with its own benchmark of maybe S&P, the BSE 100 or something like that. I think the BSE 100 for Axis Blue Chip, something like that, right? Maybe Nifty or Sensex. Anything else, any of those will work for Axis Blue Chip. See, the Axis Blue Chip fund manager is not going to sit and worry about whether their fund is outperforming or underperforming SBI FD return. That is not their mandate. But these people in value research assume that that's right. That is an arbitrary assumption. So using that subjective assumption, they are doing math, right? So this must be first of all understood. Nobody is comparing a fund with a representative index benchmark. Equity index benchmark comparison is not being done at all. They are only comparing it with respect to the risk-free return. Then they are comparing one fund's risk rating with another fund's risk rating, one fund's return rating with another fund's return rating, and so on. Just like appraisal is done, right? So now the point is, there will be a category average for the risk, there will be a category average for the return, there will be a category average for the net distribution. So from there, all this, so this will be the middle 35%. These are the average performance. Average means 3-star. Now, it is well known that the Nifty Next 50 over the last few years, ever since February budget date, February 2018, February 1st 2018 onwards, the Nifty Next 50 started falling down. But because the star rating is taking the last 5-year return, the performance will fall down first. The star rating will fall down much later. That is why people look at the star rating. By the time they saw the 5-star rating of this fund, the performance had already started falling down. That's when the AUM had already. So you can see that here in this graph. So you can see here. So this is the NAV of the fund moving up, but the AUM is moving up here. They are indifferent. So that is like, so the investors are always putting money into a fund that's looking at star ratings after the NAV has started falling down. So that is the problem, and they looked at the past, the very distant part in this case, and now again it is reacting. Finally, the star ratings have started reacting to the fact that it has been going down, and relatively, what that means is that what the star rating simply means that over the last 3 and 5-year period, this fund's return grade minus risk grade is in the bottom 10% in the large cap category. This is a fact. You can't change anything about it. You can argue, why are they comparing an index fund with other funds? Why shouldn't they? You can compare anything you want. It is your job to worry about how the rating is done and whether it makes any sense or not. So there's nothing wrong in them giving 1 star. What is wrong is people taking the star rating seriously. So, I mean, I have always said this index investing bus is a fad. Index investing is a very good idea. I don't have a problem. But I maintain that many people who have chosen Nifty Next 50, Nifty UTI, Nifty, and so on, they have all looked at the recent past performance and chosen. If you do that, you are going to be disappointed. If you invest using star ratings, you are bound to be disappointed. So that's it. Bye-bye.